Hello guys, it's Kojiri once again, and in this video tutorial I'm going to be showing you how you can install Visual Studio Code on your desktop or your laptop. And so what you're going to do, first of all, when you open up your browser, you're going to be searching for Visual Studio Code exe. And so when you type in that, you hit the enter button and then it will take you to the search results. And here we can see the Visual Studio Code result, and the website shown here is code.visualstudiocode.com. So when we click on it, to take you to the Visual Studio Code official website where you can download Visual Studio Code. And with Visual Studio Code, you can run multiple programming languages. And so here you can see different options for different operating system. We have for Windows 8, 10, and 11, for Linux OS, for Mac OS. And below that, you can also see for the 64-bit systems, the 32-bit system, which is x86, and for the ARM64 systems. And so you're going to download the user installer. So you can see below here. So for the 64-bit user installer, you see the x64. So you click on it and it will take you to the place where you can download the Visual Studio. And you can see the download has started by the bottom left corner, and you can see the setup and the instructions for different programming languages by the left hand side. As you can see, in this case, you can use it for multiple programming languages, for Java, for Python. Okay, and so after you have downloaded the Visual Studio Code, so you go to your Windows Explorer and then go to your downloads or where you save the file. And so what you're going to be doing is that we're going to install the Visual Studio Code in executable file, and you can see the Visual Studio Code executable file written VS Code exe, and it is different from the installer. And the installer is the one that will install the packages one by one. So the Visual Studio Code contains the running environment. So you double click on it or you right click and then you select open. And here we can see that the Visual Studio Code has presented us with a menu to accept the terms of condition. So you click on accept the agreements and then you click on next, and then you select the place where you want to install the Visual Studio Code, which is default by default. It is going to store on your C drive, and I leave my own as it is, and then I click on next, and then you can edit the name of the Visual Studio Code if you choose. And so you click on next, and then I select the toggle to create a desktop icon, add open with code, action to Windows Explorer. And what this does is that it can enable you to open your code with VS Studio Code, and you can add it to the context menu. And the add to path will add VS Studio Code to path, and then you click on next, and finally we click on install and wait for it to install. So the installation has been completed, and so what you're going to do is to click on finish, and this will automatically launch the Visual Studio Code. And so let's start by checking how we can install packages in VS Studio Code. And so you come by the left hand side and you click on extensions. By the left hand side, you click on extensions, or you press Ctrl plus Shift plus X, and here we can search for extensions that we can run in our Visual Studio Code. So for example, let's say you want to install the Python extension. So search it by typing Python. As you can see, this is Python, and when you install this extension, you can then install Python and run Python on your system. So we're going to install this extension. So you click on it and then you click on install. And remember that this extension is needed to run Python on your desktop or your laptop. And so after installing this extension, I'll be showing you how you can also install Python on your system, and then you can run Python together on your desktop. And so next, after we have installed the Python plugin, what you're going to do next is to check if we have Python installed on our system. So to check if you have Python, you go to your command prompt and then Your command prompt, what you're going to do is you type Python, Python minus minus version. And then if you have Python installed on your system, you're going to see the version of Python. And then as you can see in this case, I have Python 3.10 installed on my system. But if you don't have Python installed, I'm going to show you how you're going to do that right away. And so when you open up your browser, in your browser, you're going to be searching for Python, and we're going to be downloading the exe file, which is the executioner file. And so we are going to select the first option, which is the Python official website, python.org. And then when you click on it, it will bring us to the official welcome page for installing, downloading and installing Python. And this is the official page for downloading and install Python. And here we can see different releases of the Python versions available, from version 3.7, 3.8, 3.9, 3.10 down to 3.11. And also there are different options for different operating system, Linux, Mac OS, and others. So we are going to be downloading for Windows, and then you hit the download Python 3.11.1 version, or the version you desire, and then it will start downloading Python on your desktop or laptop, or for whatever device you are using. Then we're going to open up our downloads folder, and here you can see the downloaded Python file. And what you do, you double click on it, or you right click and select open to run the Python execution file. And so the setup execution has started, and so you can customize your installation, and then you click on add Python exe to path, and we can customize the installation to choose what you want to install along with the Python. If you want to install the pip, if you want to install Python idle, then you can choose any of them. And so we're going to go back now and click on install now, and it will start installing Python into our desktop or laptop.